All right, Coach. So I guess one of the things that was kind of glaring that stood out during those scrimmage was just how good the defense played. I guess maybe from your perspective, how did you think that they did?
I thought we played, pretty good. We gave up one really big play. That was a broken coverage, but that that we can fix that. The first drive, it just kind of looked like we were maybe trying to find ourselves a little bit. First time we'd been actually physical and getting after somebody in a while. So I think that kind of showed in the first drive. But then after that, I thought we settled down, played pretty good. Definitely we're in the right spots where we needed to be and things like that. We got to tackle a little better, but I think everyone's in that same boat right now.
Ashton looks like a sure thing on those third and fourth situations. Are we going to see him throughout the year? Is he going to be a regular?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see all of our running backs. Ashton's a big part of it. He's a returner, and he's going to be a really big part of our offense. He's hard to tackle. We're going to run some. We're going to try to maybe run the ball a little bit more than we have in the past and establish that a little bit better and slow games down some. And so we're excited about him. We're excited about Darius also. He's a young sophomore that looks, pretty good too. And Isaiah Dale ran well, and so did Andrew Pettit. Isaiah Dale, I thought, looked really good. He had some explosiveness and, kind of have a different style there. And so we'll be able to utilize both.
Moving Cameron Sarzosa to linebacker, is from running back last season. Talk about what went into that decision and what you see with Cameron there.
Well, I mean, we just need some more depth on defense. Cameron did a great job at running back, but we had a bunch of depth there, and we wanted to get him on the field more. So we put him on the defensive side last spring, and we were gonna, experiment with it all spring and off season and things like that, and then we weren't able to. So. But he's picked it up well. He looked like he had that was his first game at linebacker a little bit sometimes, but he made some good decisions also. Had a few tackles, and I think he'll get better as the year goes on. He gets more used to it.
Certainly defensively with Zacharian Polk and Brady Allen, these guys graduated. What are you seeing with this defensive front that can certainly be good for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some kids step up off our JV. We've had Montavious Dobbins played pretty well in the scrimmage. Big, long kid that needs to be a player for us, and he's starting to come around and show that he can do it. I thought he was a big bright spot up on the defensive front. And Cesar Saldana. Really played well. He's one of our defensive tackles. He's got a lot of quickness, and he was in their backfield quite a bit. So, I was pleased with him. I was pleased with all the front guys. We're a little bit undersized, but it seems like we always are. But they're playing really hard, and Coach Freddie Davis and Sean Reagan both have done a great job with that front. And, hopefully it's going to be a big plus for us this year.
Since we're talking about defense and kids that are on the team and everything, plenty of sophomores kind of thrown into the fire last year. They're coming back. They've got experience. Kind of goes along with just playing good defense in general. Shoemaker last season, that their offense, a lot of kids coming back, the same guys, but they've already had that experience of facing that group. I guess if you could just talk a little bit about the defense.
I really think that we're a little bit ahead of where I thought we might be. Without all the time that we normally spend with them in the spring. So feel good about where they're at. Shoemaker's going to be a formidable opponent. I mean, they've got a whole bunch of team speed. They've got 8 returners on offense, 6 back on defense. They were really good last year. They're a pretty balanced football team. They throw it a little bit more than they have in the past to try to keep you honest, and they're doing a good job of it. They had a really good scrimmage against Waco Midway, and it's going to be a big time game for us. I like playing teams that are fast like they are because we've got to get used to that, and we've got to play teams so we can understand our angles and our pursuit and things like that. We didn't look good doing that last year. Hopefully this year, we'll be better prepared for it.
How much talk is there about last year's game, or have you guys just kind of left it up?
Oh, just me. I'm the only one that's really talked about it much. The kids have moved on, and I'm glad they have. I remind them some during, at the right times that these guys, put it on us last year, man. They really did. They outplayed us in every phase. We had turnovers. We had all kinds of bad things happen last year. We didn't get off the bus ready to play. So all of those things have been mentioned, and we're going to handle this a lot better.
How important is time of possession this week? I mean, these guys,
Yeah.
they're a track team on pad.
Yeah, they are. They're explosive, and they can go to the house any time on you. So, we're not really a ball control or a time of possession type of football team, but you do have to really think about some of those opportunities that you're giving them. The key for us is we've got to have success. We can't we have got to fix our penalties in the red zone, and we've got to finish drives. And I think if we do that, we'll be in the middle of this thing, in the fourth quarter, and just worrying about what we control. Really, if we could do that, not eliminate the pre-snap penalties and play every other phase of our game the way we did on last Thursday, I'll feel good about it.
I know you mentioned just kind of getting used to speed, but I guess if there's one thing because these games ultimately really don't matter other than just learning experiences until districts start. But, I guess if there's one thing that you're really hoping that the team takes away from this week, what would you say would be?
You hear coaches say all the time that your team gets so much better between the first and second game. What I want us to do is I want us to play this like a veteran football team that we are. We shouldn't be making mistakes like we did last year, because last year we were starting 7 sophomores. All those guys have got a bunch of experience now. All those guys have a lot of Friday night football game atmosphere where they should know what to expect. Our quarterback's a 3-year returning starter. Our offensive line has 3 returning starters on it. We've got a starting running back. We've got to play like a veteran football team, and if we do that, if we play like we're capable mentally and not make the pre-snap penalties and the things that hurt our football team that we do to ourselves, then I think we're going to have a pretty good shot at being a good football team this year. And we got some veterans back that I'm excited about, and the attitude's been fantastic. And like everyone else in the state, we're ready to go play a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 1. You finally get to play a game 4 weeks behind, 5
Right.
weeks behind the rest of the state. What's going to be the message to the team to kind of control the emotion coming out of the locker room so it's not just crazy
Yeah.
free for all?
I think we won't have to worry about it. I really don't. I mean, Thursday they were ready to go scrimmage, and I thought we, for the most part, had a pretty good scrimmage. And like I said a while ago, I feel like we've got a mature team. We've got some really good leadership. They have done the things we've asked them to do, have had very minimal, if any, issues. And I think we're mature enough that we're going to go over there and handle it the right way.
Last year we saw the emergence of Tanner Dabbert and Christian Gabolden. Jalen Leifesty is kind of the only guy that's returning that saw a lot of reps. Who are some of these guys that you like, and what can we expect from this receiving corps?
Well, I mean, we've got really, this is the first year probably since maybe 15 that we've had this kind of depth in our receivers. We've got 2 guys at each position that we really like, that are going to play. They're going to be on the field. We're going to play at least 8 and sometimes 9 guys on a Friday night. So last week we completed double-digit passes to 9 different guys, and we also completed 1 more pass to 2 other guys. So 11 different receivers caught the ball in our scrimmage against Abilene Cooper. 9 of those were double-digit catches. So not double-digit, I'm sorry, more than 1 catch for 9 of them. And so we can move it around, and that's going to give people trouble. They're not going to be able to gang up on one guy like they could Tanner last year, and he still had a great year, but they're not going to be able to do that, because when they do, we've got other weapons that can hurt them, and we've also got a couple of good running backs and a good quarterback that can run also. So I feel like our arsenal is there. We just got to go out and execute what we do every day in practice.
We saw, the last few seasons, your offensive line has just kind of been a work in progress. And this season, a lot of these guys, they're 2 years. 2 years, moving down the road here. With Kirk Klausner is the only guy that's kind of graduated from that line. How crucial is this offensive line? Certainly protecting Malachi Brown.
Well, I mean, it's the most important part of your football team. I think every coach would say that. Your front guys, your offensive line, your defensive line, that's where it all starts. And we've got some veterans coming back we feel good about. You know, the Bruce Smith and Kobe Moore. Those guys are going to be good for us. We're not having to break people in, you know, at different spots. We're not having to, you know, hope that we can hide somebody, things like that. We don't have a whole bunch of depth. We got a little bit more than we've had in the past. Some young depth, some sophomore depth in our offensive line, but you know, hopefully they're going to be a big bright spot for us. If they are, then I think we'll have a great year. You know, and it's that way all the time. I mean, you're only going to be as good as you are up front, and if they, you know, if we perform to the level we did last year with those three guys that I mentioned, then I feel good about it.
For the first, we won't see you guys till October.
Right.
Sometime here at St. Angelo Stadium. Talk about time on the road. I mean, I imagine you are just blessed to play, but you're going to be spending time on the road.
Yeah, we're going to spend a lot of time. We got 3 home games, 6 road games. Start off with 3 road games in a row. So against, you know, really tough competition. So good news is 3 weeks from now we're going to have a really good idea of where we're at and going into the Abilene game. I think we couldn't play 3 better teams to get ready. They all do something a little bit different. They're all very good, well-coached, successful teams in the state of Texas. So we're going to find out where we're at. But the best part of that is no matter how we come out of it, I think we're going to be a whole lot better team when we got to go play Abilene and they start to matter. And this district is going to be really interesting, you know, not only with the situations that we're in and playing later in the season, but I think, you know, it's going to be better than some people think it is. I think Midland's going to be better. Odessa's going to be better. Friendship's going to be better. Permian and Lee are always tough, and Abilene and us are coming into it from being in a tough district. So I think we're going to be, you know, a little bit better prepared and things like that also of what we're going to see. So I look for every Friday night to be a great football game in 2-6A.
You guys are kind of picked to finish in the lower tier of the little Southwest Conference. Does that bother you? I mean, is it almost playing with a chip on your shoulder? Do you embracing the underdog?
No, I mean, I really think that's where we belong right now. You know, we were 7-4, 6-5 the last 2 years. Midland Lee's got almost their whole team back off a really good football team. Permian beat them last year. Friendship was up and coming. So, you know, I think they picked us where it's a realistic thing of where we're at, but that's not where we expect to end up. And that's not what our goals are, and our football team's aware of you know, the things that we need to do to get where we want to be.
I was going to ask you anyway, just so that we're all done. I mean, we're done pretty much, but I'm just curious. You know, I know in the past that you've had receivers that are eventual quarterbacks play receiver.
Right.
Are you going to? I noticed Tyler was
Yeah.
out there taking reps with the second
Yeah, we'll
team.
use him. We're going to use Tyler some for sure. I mean,
Okay.
he's going to be our quarterback, and he's the quarterback of our future. You know, he's a sophomore, but he's got some pretty good wheels, catches the ball well, and we will use him. He's part of our receiving rotation, and that's another reason that we have some pretty good depth there.